From presidential candidates to policymakers, people with ideas to shape the future of our country are all in downtown Austin today. It's the final day of the Texas Tribune Festival. The event lets you hear ideas from across the political spectrum. And one person you can hear from today is Republican Congressman Chip Roy. Thank you so much for being here with us this morning ahead of the Trib Fest. We appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Yeah, now you're taking part in an event called the Playbook Exchange with members of the House Freedom Caucus. For our viewers who aren't familiar with that, what exactly is the Freedom Caucus?
Well, it's a group of about 30 members of the House of Representatives who are bound together by the idea that we should have a limited government, that we should have lower taxes, we should have more money in the pockets of the American people, that we should have lower regulations, create economic growth, strong, secure border, and we're just bound together to try to help move the conversation. And my friends Jim Jordan from Ohio and Mark Meadows from North Carolina are here in town, and we had a good meeting last night, and we're going to be in and have this panel discussion today with some of the folks from Politico, and it should be a good event. I'm glad to be here. I think it's my 4th or 5th straight year doing the Trib Fest. It's a great event bringing some of the smartest people from around the country here.
Yeah, so neat to have all of these big names in town.
Yeah.
Now, your event is part of the Open Congress portion of the Trib Fest. That means it's free and open to the public.
Sure.
Folks who want to come out, what should they expect?
Well, I think it's down. I think it's outside. I think it's going to be down on Congress Avenue.
It'll be hot.
And
Wear
it's
shorts.
It's going to be a little warm.
Yeah.
And but in fact, the one good redeeming thing about D.C. right now is it's actually fall weather up there. It's nice and cool. But happy to be in Texas. It'll be a little warm, and there'll be several hundred people there. They'll have a great panel discussion there. There's a bunch of stuff all day long. So I'd encourage people to come downtown. It's going to be a great event, and come down there and join us, and we'll have a good conversation.
Great. Well, we all know that the Impeachment Inquiry has been, dominating the news this week. It's a big focus at the Trib Fest. What's your stance on the inquiry, and do you think these claims need to be investigated?
Well, look, I think that one of the most important things, the solemn duty we have as a member of the House of Representatives, is to take facts and follow the law wherever it may lead. We have an obligation. It's much like the grand jury process. And as you know, I think from my background, I'm a former federal prosecutor, as the former First Assistant Attorney General of Texas. And I used to have to go in front of grand juries and present evidence. And as a member of the House of Representatives, we'll have to, look at whatever's put in front of us. So I generally take a kind of slow approach and look at it and look at the facts that come before us. I don't believe in the Oversight Committee on which I serve that we're going to have an opportunity to do much of the work. I think is going through the Intelligence Committee, and I'm not on that committee. So I'll have to stand back and look at it much like the public, wait for things to come out and see what's out there. But I take a deliberate approach to how we should go look at the facts. I think everybody should slow their roll on sort of both sides, and let's look and see what comes out. But I also think we should keep in mind, when I was a prosecutor and I was presenting evidence to the grand jury, I didn't walk in there with a hearsay document. So right now we have hearsay. That's what we have in a whistleblower report. And we've got a third party claiming that certain things were said. And so I think you take that and you go, okay, is there any credibility to this, legitimacy? Look at the transcript. Now let's go have some conversations about what happened. And then keep in mind that there's a lot of politics behind this, right? There's a lot of people who would love to see the president removed from office and have been targeting him for a long time. So we should be objective about this and do our job.
Well, you represent District 21 in Congress. That covers Austin, part of San Antonio, part of the Hill Country. It's a mix of Republicans and Democrats.
Sure.
So what are you hearing from your constituents when it comes to the impeachment inquiry, and are they telling you it's important?
Well, sure. I spent a lot of time traveling around Texas 21 in August, and I mean all over. I went
Big area.
All 10 counties. Had a lot of meetings, and the biggest thing that I was hearing from people was, how can I afford health care? What do we do about a border where there's 1,500 to 2,000 people coming across our border every day, even still today, even though they say the numbers are down? What do we do about and get this, $100 million of debt we're racking up every hour? So while you're here this morning, $100 million of debt. This is what I hear from the American people. They're concerned about their ability to afford health care for their families. They want solutions. This is what they sent people to D.C. to do. I'm trying to honor the commitment I made to the people of Texas 21 to do those things. Fight for health care freedom, fight to balance the budget, fight to secure the border. And with all due respect to my Democrat colleagues, they've been completely denying that we had a crisis at our border. They've been ignoring the fact that we've got a spending crisis. And I was proud to be one of 140 Republicans that we voted against the increase in caps in July. I've been proud to stand up and, for example, say that we need to have a new and rethink the authorization of force. We're now 18 years into the authorization of force under which our men and women in uniform are operating overseas. We should rethink that. The American people sent us there to do our job. And that's what I hear every day when I go out into the district, and that's what I'm proud to fight for.
Right. Well, thank you so much. You can attend the Congressman's Trib Fest panel today, Playbook Exchange with members of the House Freedom Caucus. It's at 11:15 this morning, so you're going to have to get over there.
That's right.
Happening in the Politico tent on Congress Avenue. It's a free event, and we're also going to have a live stream of it on KXAN.com just in case you can't make it over there. We're live streaming our other Trib Fest events as well, including appearances by 4 presidential candidates. Beto O'Rourke's panel is live right now, and then tonight you can watch House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's closing keynote live. We'll share that live stream from our media partners at the Texas Tribune on our website at KXAN.com.